everyone, this is Jen from Scrapping Posh, and I am here with an Artistic Studio Creation Design Team project. That's ASC Supplies on Etsy or asccraftsupply.com. And what I did was I made a small mini album out of all scraps, and that's the scraps from the Neverland collection that I had the big book from. And the chipboard are also scrap pieces. And then the only thing that wasn't scrap pieces were the pages, and that's a 65-pound cardstock. And then these parchment colored tags and stuff were pretty much all scraps also from my Ephemera Queen collection, or my Ephemera Queen albums. Or no, from my Neverland album, I'm sorry. So on the front I used the 6x6 map, and then it wasn't quite big enough to cover this 6.5-inch album, so I went ahead and I put 2 of the strips on there, and then I just continued to wrap that around, and since it's a 2-inch spine with like a 4-inch front, it fit pretty much perfectly. And then on the back I used the map paper with one of the round cut aparts. You can see here that there is a craft color cardstock underneath, and also here I used one of the cut aparts, and then I had a little selection of bling that this is actually the only place I used it in the album. This is also a border strip here. So to flip through the album, I have a compass here on the front, and then just a photo mat that we can put things underneath for the front cover. And then I use the same page system as I've been using here in my last few albums, the stack the page system. And pretty much every page except for the middle 2 are the same. It's a large pocket with a flap with a couple tags in it. And then 2 really big spots for photos here. You have one page, every other page has like a big belly band, and then the opposite page has a vertical flip. So we'll just go through one at a time. This one I put like a little booklet in, just using my scraps up. And then at the end of this video, we're going to take even one more step, and I'll show you what I have left as far as scraps go. And we're going to make some cards out of those scraps. This was originally going to be my front cover, but I messed it up, so now it's just a page. And then you have the belly band with the, this is like a 3.5 by 5 card. My vacuum cleaner is going to come in the room. And then this is the different pages. These are the middle pages, and there is a vertical waterfall and then like a little tiny horizontal waterfall. And then I thought it was really fun to use the cut apart there for the band. And then we go back into the regular pages. So lots of room in this little bitty tiny album. It's not as embellished as the big one. It's not as, obviously not as big as the big one, but it still is very functional and a great way to use up your scraps. Okay, so there's my little album, and now we're going to start into the cards. So first off, I keep a container, and this was a dollar store container full of my scraps, and these are all my scraps with the exception of the long strips that I cut by 1 inch and put them in the container. I think I have 2 of these. This one's more full than the other one. And I use these for cards, so I'm going to have that handy And then whenever I find a good deal on cards, or when I went through all my scraps, anything that was big enough to make into a card base, I made into a card base, either horizontal or vertical, and I put them in this other dollar store container in color order. So I'm going to grab the ones that I think will go good with this collection, and that's going to be the browns. And I'll grab some creams too. I don't think I'll have enough paper to do all of them, but I can always stick them back in there. And then I just grab, these are all envelopes, I just grab those as I need them. So this one's going to go back. This one I think I'm going to keep handy. The other thing about this is that I can use the lighter color ones for the insides of the cards. So I'm going to put him over here to the right of my desk, so I can use that when I need to. I also have a button that I didn't use, 4 brads, and some of these little blings that I've had. They came in a collection, and I've kind of had them sitting with the ribbon that I used on my big album, so they all coordinate. And then I have just some sheer like off-white ribbon, which this is my favorite stuff to use. And let's get started. bye. So this is like a little review. I did pull one thing out that I hadn't had, and that was these little pink flatbacks because of the pink paper that I didn't have anything pulled out for. I didn't get into this color card, but I did use all the cream color and craft card that I had out, and I dipped into my box of scraps here a couple times to get some different colors. And so we ended up with, it's either 24 or 25 cards. Obviously all like Neverland based, and we did the inside and the outsides of the cards. And if you wanted to go one step further, which I may, because I do have some scraps left, I could decorate some envelopes. So I could have probably made like one, maybe two more cards, but it was just getting to the point where I wasn't enjoying it anymore, because the last couple of cards that I made were a struggle. So yeah, and then once I stopped enjoying it is when I stopped doing it. Oops. So yeah, I think my hands, I think these came out really cute. They took a little longer than I was expecting them to. But like I said, I struggled with the last ones. There were some things that I had to cut apart that I hadn't cut apart yet because I wasn't sure if I was using the solids on the back or the actual cut aparts. So we have some definite pinks and lots of greens and a couple browns. They all coordinate inside and out. So I think that's fun. And they're pretty hefty cards, but they're still flat enough to mail. And these are the ones that I was struggling with, but I think they turned out okay at the end. So yeah, I think it's 24, but I'll recount them. So you see me throughout the video have little piles of scraps like this. These are the ones that went into the recycle bin. And then what I have left is no more than this, which is a lot of strips. There's one tag, a couple cut aparts that aren't actually cut apart. Of course I could cut these off and put them anywhere. My dog is snoring, sorry. And yeah, so there's not a lot left. I don't think you could do a whole lot with this. So, yep, that was it, and I thank everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and you got some ideas on how to use your scraps and make some cards for charities or friends or to send out or whatever you want. We'll see you next time. I appreciate you watching. Comment, like, and subscribe. Head on over to ASC Supplies on Etsy or ASCCraftSupplies.com. Use Scrapping Posh 10 to get 10% off your regular price purchases. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.